Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation with a focus on thriving in a world of politics. Today, we'll explore how to play the perfect courtier, based on Law 24. We'll cover key strategies to navigate political environments effectively and build influential relationships. So, let's dive in and discover how to succeed in the complex world of power and influence. The perfect courtier, in many ways, is someone who really understands the dynamics of power and political skill. He thrives in a world where everything revolves around influence, where knowing how to navigate relationships is crucial. The key here is mastery of indirection. It's about being subtle and graceful rather than overt. You'll notice he flatters others, especially superiors, not just to gain favor, but to create a sense of goodwill. At the same time, he knows when to yield, showing deference to those above him. But underneath all of this, he also knows how to assert his own power, again, in a very indirect and elegant way. It's about influence, not aggression, and doing so in a manner that's both graceful and effective. This approach allows him to move through the political landscape smoothly, maintaining his position and advancing his interests without confrontation. And that's the essence of the law, understanding that power often flows through subtlety, finesse, and strategic relationships. When it comes to the laws of court politics, one key idea is to flatter your superiors, but do so indirectly. Overt flattery can often raise suspicion or make it seem insincere, so it's better to offer praise in a subtle way that genuinely wins hearts without appearing too obvious. Another important point is frugal flattery. You want to make your accomplishments seem effortless and natural. People tend to admire talent that looks innate, not something that's forced or overly polished. When you appear to do great work effortlessly, it resonates more positively, whereas showing off too much can sometimes backfire. Practice nonchalance is also crucial. It's never wise to talk too much about yourself or draw too much attention to your achievements. Modesty acts as the ultimate disguise. It keeps others guessing and maintains your credibility. And finally, avoid ostentation. Flashy displays or excessive self-promotion can often be counterproductive. Staying humble and understated helps you maintain good relationships and keeps the focus on your work, not on how much you're trying to impress others. All these points tie back to the overall theme. Navigating court politics requires subtlety, humility, and a keen awareness of how your actions are perceived. He spoke little, listened much, and never allowed his face to reveal his thoughts. This approach made him a master of discretion and strategic silence, which was crucial in the political landscape of his time. By not revealing what he truly thought, he kept others guessing and maintained control over the flow of information. He made himself indispensable by being the perfect mirror to whoever held power. In other words, he adapted seamlessly to whoever was in charge, reflecting their needs and intentions without exposing his own. Charles Maurice de Talleyrand-Périgord exemplifies this perfectly, serving the French monarchy, then the Revolution, Napoleon, and finally the Restoration government. And remarkably, he managed to survive and thrive through all these regime changes. This highlights a key trait of successful courtiers: their ability to navigate shifting political tides while maintaining their influence. Throughout this presentation, we see how Talleyrand's subtlety and adaptability made him an enduring figure in history. So, as Brumel's fame grew, he became increasingly arrogant. He lost sight of his role as a courtier and started to treat the prince with too much familiarity and even disdain. This shift in attitude was dangerous, and it ultimately led to his downfall. A single insult, "Who's your fat friend?" was the final straw that sealed his fate. It was a disrespectful remark that cost him dearly. After that, he was exiled from court, and tragically, he spent his last days in a madhouse, without a penny to his name. It's important to remember that Brumel was once the arbiter of fashion in Regency, England, and a close friend of the Prince Regent. His story is a cautionary tale about how arrogance and losing perspective can lead to downfall, even for someone so influential in their time. This ties into our overall theme of how social standing and personal conduct shape one's fate. When mastering the court, it's essential to maintain a professional distance. Never assume that you are friends with your master. Always keep a respectful distance to preserve authority and respect. This helps in avoiding misunderstandings or overfamiliarity that could undermine your position. Next, never bear bad news directly. The messenger often bears the brunt of the consequences, so it's wise to let someone else deliver difficult messages. Your role should be to bring good news and act as a positive influence, which keeps your reputation intact and your relationships intact. Then, it's important to alter your style depending on who you're dealing with. Don't be the same person with everyone. Adapt your language, your tone, and your manner to suit the person in front of you. This flexibility shows emotional intelligence and helps build rapport, making your interactions more effective. All these tactics tie into the bigger picture of navigating courtly behavior, being strategic, respectful, adaptable, and mindful of how your actions are perceived. Mastering these behaviors is crucial for maintaining influence and ensuring your position remains secure. Now, let's take a moment to acknowledge the sources behind these images that help illustrate our discussion. First, we have an image from Semantic Scholar.org, which provides valuable visual data supporting our research. Next, there's a stunning Venetian mask from Masquerade.com, showcasing the intricate craftsmanship and historical significance of masquerade accessories. Moving on, we see a miniature portrait of Beau Brummel from Wikipedia, highlighting his influence on men's fashion and elegance in the early 19th century. Lastly, there's a portrait of Charles Maurice de Talleyrand, also from Wikipedia, illustrating the role of fashion and presentation among political figures of that era. These images collectively reinforce the themes of style, influence, and historical context we've explored throughout the presentation.